I just got in the all-new Pro Series fingerboard from Thiccc. I got in the Plan B graphic, and in this video I'm going to be opening it up, going over all of the details, and letting you know if it is truly worth the $69.99 price that it's currently going for over on Amazon. I also am going to thoroughly test the board to see if it is truly deserving of the Pro Series label. Starting off with the box and package design, I think that Thiccc did a great job. It looks super clean and simple, and I like that the wooden box fits exactly in the cardboard box. The box that it comes in can also be used as a storage container, but I like that it also has a clear window in it, so you can also use it as a display case. This setup also comes with a Pro tool. This is the first time in a long time that Thiccc has included a tool with a fingerboard, and not just any tool, it is actually a really nice heavy metal tool. The wooden box is made out of a super lightweight wood, and the insert is just a cardboard eggshell lining. The overall box is actually a really lightweight and surprisingly a lot lighter than I thought it would be. On the other side of the box is a laser etched Thiccc logo. The box has aluminum corner pieces, which are great for grinds, as well as using the box as a platform to do tricks off of. Before I get to the board, here's another close-up of the tool. It is super nice quality, it's really heavy weight, and it has a lot of grip on it, as well as the shape gives a lot of extra torque. This is the perfect tool for installing those trucks where the screws just don't want to go in. I really like the design of this, and I think it would be awesome if Thiccc made this tool available by itself. Without any further ado, let's get to the board. Right out of the box, this setup looks really nice. It's a super clean colorway that they did with the green and gold, and you can see the orange bushings in there. I think overall they did a really good job with the design of it. The deck is a 34 by 98 millimeter, and it is 5 plies of wood. I think that it's time to point out the elephant in the room, also known as the elephant on top of this board, and that is the foam grip is super thick. It's 2 millimeters thick, which I'm used to normally 1 millimeter on pretty much all my other setups. And I also think they got the design inspired by Oreo. After seeing this, I don't think I can unsee this, but I think it looks kind of like a USA inspired cream with the Oreo top, and the bottom has been taken off perfectly. And a first look at the dual Durameter wheels. These wheels have a plastic inner core, and then on the outside a soft rubber. And the first thing that I noticed after looking at these wheels is that the soft rubber had these little kind of what looks like mold pieces still left on the wheels that makes them not perfectly round. It would have been really nice if Thiccc would have gotten rid of these, because I think these will spin a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that, because it also, when I've been rolling it around and I put a little bit of weight, you can hear it makes a kind of weird sound. Almost sounds like the wheels have a flat spot. Using a sharp X-Acto blade, I'm going to carefully take off the excess rubber. And using a piece of paper, I'm just going to rub the wheels in small circles. And this kind of is like a very fine sandpaper. Going to smooth everything out. And just testing and rolling it out, it's a lot smoother. After doing this, the wheels have a good amount of free roll, and when I push the board, they spin. One thing I noticed with these wheels is that they are super sticky compared to pretty much any other wheel that I've ever used. I think they are even more sticky than the Performance Series wheels, which are super sticky themselves. If you're used to CNC plastic wheels or urethane wheels, this will definitely take some getting used to. However, I did notice that the wheels do have some pros and cons, and they make some tricks easier while some other tricks a little bit harder, just because of the fact that the wheels stick to the ground a lot more. Out of the box, the bearing wheels definitely have a good amount of spin time. We'll definitely do an update in about a month to see how they hold up. And riding around on the board, it is super smooth. I think this is due to the fact that the wheels are super soft, almost like a cruiser or a longboard. The wheels on the Pro Series are a little bit bigger diameter than what I'm used to on most of my setups, and they also ride a little bit higher. Next are the trucks, and the trucks, they went with an inverted kingpin similar to Dynamics. This is a really nice feature because it gives the extra clearance needed to do grinds on the center of the trucks. And I think they actually got a little bit more clearance, surprisingly, than Dynamics, just by a little bit. Out of all my setups, the Pro Series on the right sits up the highest and rides the overall highest. This is due to the fact that the trucks ride about the same height as the Thiccc Performance Series. However, the wheels are a little bit taller, so overall it just sits higher. Overall, the Pro Series trucks are a lot more like the BlackRiver trucks, minus the inverted kingpin. Testing out the adjustability of the trucks, I went ahead and loosened it up, went as loose as I could, at least to the point where they could easily go down. And as far as I could push, I could not get them to actually hit the board. So there's definitely no issues with wheel rub, especially with how tall these ride. I prefer my trucks on the looser side. If you do like your trucks on the tighter or firmer side, you will need to get different bushings, just because the bushings included are a medium or a little bit softer. Thiccc went with a pivot cup system that is similar to BlackRiver trucks. And they did include a little bit softer pivot cup out of the box. I'm curious if Thiccc will offer different hardnesses and different bushings as well in the future. I also like that the kingpins, even on the loosest setting, have a good amount of threading that goes inside of the actual base. This will hopefully avoid any stripping issues in the future. I'll definitely do an update on the durability down the line. Testing the board out, it definitely took a little while getting used to the foam grip. And the wheels are super sticky, like I said before. There are some tricks that I've found that I can actually do on this board that I've not been able to do before just because of how sticky they are. The foam grip makes Casper slides a lot more challenging because it actually wants to stick to the top of the container. Also, I want to point out that the box is super lightweight and moves around a lot if you don't have anything sticking it down. I went ahead and used some sticky tack, and that is what's keeping it in place. But you could also probably put some sticky non-slide tape on it, and that would help as well. This is the only set of wheels that I have that I'm able to ride around on the side of like this. And the width of the board makes the flip tricks go a little bit slower, and it makes it a little bit more satisfying to look at, in my opinion. And the foam grip is also very sticky. It's also very thick to the point where it's almost like a pillow for your finger, where your finger actually goes into the board a little bit. This is nice with how soft it is and has a nice feel, but at the same time you kind of lose the sense of board feel that you would get with a thinner grip tape. Overall, this setup is a lot of fun for doing flat ground tricks. And I found that doing things like Casper flips are actually a little bit easier. However, doing things more like reverts out of tricks is a little bit tougher just because the wheels stick to the ground. Grinding on the edge of the aluminum corners on the platform is super smooth, really satisfying. And I did find that doing power slides is almost impossible, at least longer ones, because once you turn, it pretty much stops because of how sticky the wheels are. All things considered, and after getting used to some drastic differences in the setup, I actually really like using this Pro board. One thing I wanted to point out is in the Amazon ad, it does say it's a 7-plywood deck, when in fact it was a 5-ply. Not a huge deal, but I thought it was interesting that it is different than what the ad said. To answer the question, is the Pro Series Thiccc worth the price of $69.99? I think it is important to take a look at what is available on the market. And my first gut instinct was that it was way overpriced, considering you get 30 original Thicccs for the same price as one Pro Series Thiccc, or even 4 Performance Series for the price of 1. That being said, these are not the same quality. So I went over to BlackRiver site to try and compare something a little bit closer to a Pro Series board. But looking at the price of Pro fingerboards, starting at BlackRiver, one of the most well-known names in the game, if you want to get something similar that is a true Pro fingerboard, you're looking at around $140. They do have some decks that are just by themselves for $47. And then they do have the Bali series, but I personally don't recommend these as they are $65, and the parts and trucks that you get with them are actually really cheap. You can actually get pretty much the same quality trucks and everything from Teak Tuning or even LC boards for pretty much half the price. I found it interesting on the BlackRiver site, you have the choice between a 5-ply or 7-ply, and it's only $2 different. I'm kind of curious if some of the Thiccc Pros, maybe some of them are a 7-ply and I only got a 5-ply. If you did buy a Thiccc Pro and you're watching this, or if you've seen other ones, let me know if yours is a 5-ply or a 7-ply. And I tried looking everywhere on the BlackRiver site for a tool just to see what it would be just to buy it by itself if they sell it. Wasn't able to find anything. I did find some online secondhand and from a shop as well, and they were going for around $14. And just to compare the Pro board to some more budget-friendly options from some other companies, I headed over to DK Fingerboards. They have some really nice boards that start at $16 for the 29 millimeters, a little bit thinner, and then the 32 and 34 millimeters for the most part are going to go for around $27. But their board quality is as good as the Pro Series in my opinion, if not better. And comparing to the BlackRiver Bali series, you can actually get a complete from DK Fingerboards for about $35, and it's pretty close in quality as far as the parts go. If you wanted to build a setup a little bit more comparable to the Pro Series, it would cost a bit more though. Just the RealWear graphic is going to run $27.74. plus shipping. I wasn't able to find parts that were comparable to the Teak Pro on DK fingerboards, so I headed over to another fingerboard company that is on the more budget-friendly side, Ipe Toys, and they carry a V2 truck for $29.99. These trucks are very similar as far as quality and performance, in my opinion, as the ones that come on the Pro Series. So between the board and the trucks, we're already looking around $60. And I did find these dual Durameter fingerboard wheels from Ipe Toys as well, and they go for $30 as well. So between the board, trucks, and deck, we're looking already at $90. I decided to check out one more budget-friendly fingerboarding company option, which is Teak Tuning. And they carry a variety of boards with different graphics as well as blanks. They go anywhere from $11.99 all the way up to $14.99. Found this pretty cool Yeti Bros board. And they've been adding a lot of newer graphics and newer shaped boards as well. I have a boxy board from them that I like a lot. As for wheels, my favorite wheels for them are their Apex urethane street wheels. And I went ahead and went with the Ultra Spin bearings, although I definitely recommend the Apex 9 bearings for the extra $5. But I went ahead with the less expensive ones just because they are closer to what comes in the Teak Pro Series. And then for trucks, the closest I was able to find are these Prodigy Pro trucks, but they were out of stock on a lot of things at the time of making this. I ended up finding these Prodigy Pro inverted trucks. These are similar, however, they definitely need a pivot cup to make them a little bit nicer. And these Prodigy Swerve trucks are probably the closest. However, they were out of them in the 34mm size at the time of making this video. I ended up adding the Prodigy Pro inverted trucks just to get an idea of what it would be as far as cost goes with kind of a similar setup. Also added the Mario Yeti, had a set of wheels. And then I also wanted to check out the obstacles since the Pro Series does technically come with an obstacle. Cheapest one I could find was actually a 3D printed one, but this concrete slab is pretty cool looking. This is the one that I ended up adding to the cart just to get a price idea. It was a poly box ramp. Looks kind of like a platform ledge that you could do some grinds and some tricks on and off of. After adding everything to the cart, the grand total came to $66. This is a pretty comparable setup and package, including the obstacle. And I think for $66, I personally would probably go with the Teak. I think it is a little bit better value, considering you get a nice metal tool as well as an officially licensed professional graphic board. The only other way to get an officially licensed professional board is to get a Teak Performance Series that go for around $14 and then upgrade it yourself if you're into DIY. One other way to get an officially licensed professional board is to get a Teak Performance Series and upgrade it yourself. I upgraded these three on the left on videos in the past, and I did each of these for anywhere from $30 total cost all the way up to $50. To wrap everything up and answer the question, is the Pro Series Teak worthy of the Pro name? And in my opinion, kind of. I think the board trucks are overall really, really nice. The wheels are definitely personal preference. Some people are going to like them, some people are going to hate them. If you don't like sticky wheels, I would not recommend this setup. And while I got used to the thick foam grip pretty fast, I still think the look of it and also the overall control that you get from thinner grip tape is the way to go for a professional setup. And to be honest, I think the $69.99 price, after looking at what's available from competitors and everything included with the setup, is actually pretty warranted. However, I think Teak would do a lot better and probably would hit the market for a lot more people that are looking for budget boards if they came out with the performance board with upgraded bearing wheels for somewhere closer to $30. The box art for the most recent line of performance series looked like that they were going to do that or go in that direction, so maybe it's just a matter of time. Also, keep in mind that the $69.99 price was just the price that was listed on the Teak store on Amazon, and the price might change when it actually comes to stores and is released. That being said, let me know what you think in the comments if you think the price is too high at where it's at or what it should be, and also what changes you would make to the board, if any. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to check out my other tutorials as well as DIY builds, and make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications for when I post my newest videos. I'll post an update on this board in about 30 days to see how it holds up. And until next time, peace.